What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I'm Justin here with Meelz. What's up,
Listen,
Meelz?
man, it can't be any worse than me, but I'm glad you set it off right. How about that?
Oh man, that was terrible. I had
Um,
you have a cough, and it doesn't happen. Sorry to anybody's
yeah,
ears that had to hear that.
nah. First time I ever sneezed on a podcast, I felt like I malfunctioned. Like I felt like I was just like, because I'm so usually on it, and I usually mic stuff up and all this other stuff like that. But I will say, to preface for everyone listening, I am not feeling well, but I am here. The New York weather has been crazy as fuck. It's just been raining for the past 8 days.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
Seattle.
Essentially, yes, like 62 degrees. By this week, this time next week, it'll be 97 degrees. So it's a large sweeping thing that we got currently right now. So yeah, I think everybody is sniffling or something along those lines. Everybody's wearing like I've seen Nike Tech, I've seen coats, I've seen and mind you, it's the middle of fucking June, but you know, it is what it is. Um, I'm uh I am prepping to do the New York City mayoral rankings because I don't like my mayor currently being very incredibly mixy.
Yeah, or
Um
hanging out with Aiden Ross.
yeah,
That one.
so or so many different things. So I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to kind of like usher in our new woke as the I guess the other side would say it. Definitely one that doesn't have any sexual allegations against him.
I listen, I miss boring and woke. All right. Like
Yeah,
I truly miss boring and woke. I don't think we got a chance to really touch on this last week about the protests and things going on, especially out here. There
yeah.
was of course no King's Day last weekend. All over the world, people were protesting and showing their support for indigenous people, for Mexicans, for Latinos everywhere. I wish it didn't have to be like this. You know,
I agree. I agree
I really
because
do.
low key they're doing the same thing over in New York as well. We have a lot of um I live personally close to a lot of Caribbean neighborhoods. I live in a Caribbean neighborhood. It's just
That was proof right there.
yeah. That was Sean Paul on the back of on a motorcycle. But I live in a Caribbean neighborhood, mostly Caribbean neighborhoods, and ICE be out here too. ICE out here, train stops, ICE out here, all types of other things. So it's definitely tough. You know, it's also coming to reckoning with shit like it's only been 5 months of this thus
Yes,
far.
yes. Every
It's
day is something new.
Yeah, every week it's something insane, like insanity. So yeah, I like boring, I like knowledgeable, I like uh, mundane. Give me a mundane mayor. Give me a Mayor Dinkins or something like that. I don't know. Um, Even though I don't know if he was, but um, yeah, I'm just everything in the world is just so fucking crazy, bro. Like this is really really nuts. I'm trying to so I have a dilemma on my hands where I'm supposed to have an in-person interview. I was supposed to have it this week, but
Yeah.
it got pushed back to next week. I threw out all of my clothes that I would wear for these type of things in 2020. And why I do that, you ask? Because it was 2020. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Like we're never going outside again. Like it is what it is. So I had one good pair of shoes. I threw that out. I didn't even really like shoes. I can't wear shoes like that. Like I'm not a shoe person. Um, so now I've spent the last week like shop, and this is probably where I got sick, was going out and shopping and trying to buy like new fits that I would actually enjoy to wear.
Yeah.
My I hate, let me tell you about in-person shopping. I'm not sure, actually, it might be better by you. It is terrible out here unless I really got bread to spend and like hit Soho or something like that. It is terrible. I went in all the stores I hated.
Mhm.
I hit Zara. I hate Zara. I hit H&M. I hate H&M. Um, I hit other stores. I bought stuff I didn't really like, but I thought it was next week, so I was like, "Let me just get this shit so I can wear it." I didn't even like what I was gonna wear. So, now that I got some extra time, I've been ordering some stuff on the internet, which has brought me a lot of peace. But now I still gotta figure out the shoes, right? Because I can't just go in there wearing Uptowns. Or can I?
You can.
I can?
Uptowns are basically dress shoes.
Really now?
Yeah.
Even if they have the little Supreme logo on them?
Yeah, I mean, come on, who cares? You actually look cooler that way.
I agree. I agree.
The days of suits is over. You know what I'm saying? I remember like I was talking to Mark. I think Mark was preparing to go to an in-person interview and he was like, I'm gonna wear a suit. And I was like, I don't like when I first heard it, I felt like I didn't hear it, but then like I turned around and I was like, no, you should definitely like not do that because like again, not back in the day, it used to be like, damn, he ain't wearing a suit. What the fuck wrong with him? Now it's like the opposite. It's like
Bro, let
he's
me
wearing,
tell you, 10 years ago, I got that he's not wearing a suit. Like,
yeah,
it was my first ever big person job, and I didn't have you know what? I did wear I just didn't have the blazer. Blazer more expensive than the rest of the fucking shit.
yeah,
So, I didn't have that. I just copped the dress shirt, the pant, the slacks, the shoes, and I went on my interview for my first, like, "I'm getting a job with my degree"
hmm
type job, and I eventually did get the job, but my boss, who was Dominican, the second boss, who was white, essentially said that the white boss almost didn't give me the job because I didn't have the blazer with it. And I'm like, in my brain, I was like, I didn't even know people did. Like, I can't afford the blazer. That's why I'm trying to get the job. Like, nigga, I was just like, bro. So from there on, from there on, I would always like try to buy the blazers. But I have not gone on an in-person interview since like 2014, to be honest with you. And even that, I didn't wear a blazer because I already knew I had it in. So I pulled up in whatever. I pulled up fresh, fly, but
yeah,
not in.
young, fly, fresh and flashy. Let me just
Yes,
say this: to anybody going on interviews in the next couple of months, years, whatever, just read the room. Know where you working at. You know,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say not to wear a suit anywhere, but you know, if you're working at a bank, you should probably wear a suit. If you're working in some creative industry, you should probably dress how them niggas is gonna dress, and they're probably gonna
right.
be wearing Jordans and shit. So, just that's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, this one is kind of a mix. I've looked at they haven't updated their Instagram in a while, but from what I saw, I was like, they look a little business cash. But so I'm trying to find the perfect mix of stuff that I would like to wear personally, like me, um, but not stuff, that's like too like, look at this nigga trying to get a job.
Yeah,
Um,
this nigga really want his job, like that type of shit.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Show up in a suit and no one else in a suit. Like I mean, you're the one who gave me that kind of like first advice when I was applying for like BuzzFeed Complex, and I was like, should I buy a button-up shirt? And you were like, no, nigga.
Yeah, they wear Jordans and shit. They wear fucking, you know, they be wearing all types of shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? At those jobs, and I think that like they actually, I do feel as though they do look at you different if you, because everything you do when they bring you in in person, and it's for anybody that might be doing this in the next couple of months. It's a culture check. It's to see if you fit within the culture of the office.
right.
And so that's why I said to Mark not to go like super hard because like they're trying to look to see if they're trying to test to see if you fit in or if you'll fit in with what they're doing, right? So like
Mhm.
you want to make sure that not only, and it's not even about conforming, you know what I mean? It's about making sure that you have your kind of your buttons, you know, tied up and all that stuff where it's like, okay, I understand what they're asking me to do. Like just know like when you walk in there, it's not about what you know, it's about how you look and it's about how you look in that team. Could they take a team picture with you? Shit like that. Like that's literally what it is.
I'm prepared for it. I feel good about it. So hopefully good things come from it. Um, but with that said, what else has been going on? Is there anything like this has been
Mm.
Between this and everything else going on,
Love
it's been
Island.
quite a yeah, Love Island. So I've only seen the clips, but my thing is I hate I really do dislike the algorithm. I watch one Love Island reaction meme, and
Okay.
suddenly for the entire morning, my feed is Love Island.
Yeah, well.
Talk
Well,
about it. Break it down for me, because they've also been breaking it down on War Report, in case you know. But break down latest Love Island. What do I need? Ooh, what do I need to know?
I mean, with Love Island, you know, you have essentially right now it's the war of Huda. It's the war of Huda and what she's going through. She's a young lady who was paired with a guy named Jeremiah first episode, and it seemed innocuous and kind of innocent and sweet at first, and it kind of quickly became a toxic relationship. And of course, I'm just kind of speed running us through this at this point, but it seemed kind of innocent at first, turns into something extremely toxic. It got big over the weekend when America, essentially us, we basically voted for Jeremiah to break apart from Huda
So
and let
I saw that part, and she looked like
yeah,
she was suffering from some sort of sugar. Um, you know, she
mental
had some.
breakdown.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
She looked like I was like, something ain't right with that girl. she,
yeah, it is like it's truly and again like we would probably be sitting here all day. We got to talk about pro wrestling stuff, but like it has been, and you know Love Island's a daily show, so like we've been seeing her break down moment to moment, day by day, hour by hour. And this was kind of the big break where it was like, okay, she's not well. And at this point, a lot of people feel as though she probably shouldn't be on the island anymore. She should probably go home for her own mental health. And yeah, it's crazy. She kind of exhibits a lot of the traits, and you know, I'm trying to go at this with kid gloves in a way because like you know you never know what people are going through, you never know what people's situations are, and she seems like she's actually gone through a lot in her life, and it just doesn't seem like this is a show for her. You know what I mean? Like this is just show that she grossly misunderestimated how emotional she would get of the most routine things that happen on the show. point
right.
being point being that you have to split up with your partner at some point. Like I think that is, everyone knows that's what Love Island is. Like you have to split up from your partner. So yeah, it's a lot, and she's a lot. But yeah,
Yeah, she didn't look like she was taking it well. Who are else the standouts on this cast?
well, here's the thing. Those is the reason why people are voting the way that they're voting is because half of the show has been taken up by their drama and their relationship. There hasn't actually, like last season. Remember, like everyone loved last season,
Yeah, yeah.
because of Cordell and Serena and and Janae and what's her name, Leah, and all of them. Like they had great personalities. We have not really got to see that because half of the show has been taken up by the Huda Jeremiah thing. And the thing is that Huda is kind of the leader of the girls' friend group, and they're all scared to actually take it to her and like actually hold her accountable for a lot of the things that she's doing. And in Jeremiah's case, he's too weak and too kind of timid and easygoing to stop this from happening. So that causes a lot of issues there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's definitely a strong group. Quick question: are there any challenge prospects that you see? You know, that's what I always look for.
Um, there's this guy named Jalen who just got on there. He's a bombshell, one of the guys who comes on like as a run in. He looks
Okay.
like he'd be great on the challenge. As far as women, I mean, low key, like as crazy as it sounds, like I think Huda is actually great for any show that's not this. I'm gonna be real. I think she no lie. I think she's great. She'd be great for villains. She because the thing is, it's like, but you don't want to villainize this behavior. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
She's not like a villain. She just clearly has like some mental things
She's in
going on
over
with
her
her.
head. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She's in over her head.
So you don't really want to call it out as that, but I think she'd be great as far as the women. I think that maybe Alondra would be great on the challenge. And I think maybe Hannah or Iris. Actually, Iris, look her up on this season. She'd be great for the challenge. She's got the look. I think you would agree. She's got the look.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna look her up right now.
Yeah.
Uh Yeah, it's again, I'm about to just dive in and just come and just meet wherever the fuck we're at because
Mhm.
I don't really feel like going backwards. Um, but I know tonight,
They do
I mean,
recaps. They do
okay.
recaps.
You do NXT tonight. Wednesday nights, I know largely nothing ever happens on Wednesdays. Um, so I can definitely watch it during that period. Um, yeah, but so definitely that. Oh, shout out to did Sid win something? Oh, Sid, look at shout out to you, Sid. NAL champion. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a, he's him, bruh.
he is him.
That's my enforcer.
Sid Jones, baby. The one and only.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, maybe we should transition
Okay.
over to wrestling
Yeah.
because we are officially at pretty much the half point of 2025. Very dangerously close. We're not really there, but to be honest with you, next couple weeks are just going to be predictions and recaps and predictions and recaps because,
Yeah, I think if you look at the calendar, we have 2 prediction shows in the next month,
yeah,
um, which is funny, and then any month in between it is literally us preparing to predict another thing that's about to happen.
or
Uh,
reviewing the shit that just happened. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
the summer is pretty loaded with a lot of stuff going on, and then thanks to everyone who's gonna tap in. I never thought in the 7 something years we've been doing this that, like, this was our down season. This was our downtime.
Yeah,
At least all the way up to what Meals like November when we start kind of really guessing the Rumble stuff.
yeah.
And it's not like that this year. It's
No,
definitely different.
counter programming is creating
Oh God,
a
absolutely.
beast of what it is. But I definitely wanted to talk about kind of like everything that's happened in this half year and like who we're seeing as people who are strong at this point this year, matches that we've enjoyed, storylines, anything that you kind of see bubbling or brewing that you feel like has been a plus this year or even a negative in a real sense. I kind of want to talk. All right, if you had a name,
Uh-huh.
you had to name a wrestler of the year so far, man
Ooh,
and woman, man and woman. So let's just
okay.
do it there. Man and woman. If we had to name a wrestler of the year so far,
Mm.
who would you say?
Um,
Um,
Women, Stephanie Vicaire. It's just
mm,
that's easy. Stephanie Vicaire. Um,
she's been really good.
yeah, she's been good. I think, it's even more than just in ring. You know what I mean? It is um her character, the impact she's had, Mills, on just everything that she's touched in the
Yeah,
past, the past year. She's been NXT champion. She has been,
North
she's come
American champion. She's
North
been
Am-
both at the same time.
yeah, like she's been everything. And I think, it's not lost on me the position that she's been put in so quickly. It's barely been a year. It'll be a year in like I think 3 weeks that she signed with the company, and she's already doing the things that she's doing. You know what I mean? It's reminding me very much of a Brock Kurt Angle type thing, but with
Hmm.
women or Asuka even. Seeing them face off this week was kind of like looking at a mirror in terms of like what they gave them. Like obviously she don't need the street, and it was a different time then why Asuka had to be there that long, but it's giving Kurt Angle to me.
If I had to pick one for the women, I'd probably pick Liv. I think she's been indispensable this year. Like legitimate. Like granted, injury last night. She dislocates her shoulder. She'll probably be out for the next couple months. Um, her being out ruined like three things.
Yeah, I mean, the 3
Her
matches
being
that we've
go-
kinda guessed were happening anyway, right? It's like
yeah,
tag match,
tag match,
um
EO Live, which was undoubtedly coming up, and then um the program that she has kind of going. It doesn't really affect that. I mean, it probably helps it out quite a bit. The program that she
Mhm,
has on with Roxanne.
mhm,
Um, and I see Roxanne as someone who will probably step up in her absence. And it probably enhances the storyline a bit with Liv officially being out and not being able to work. That Roxanne can go in and work her magic, manipulate all types
yeah,
of other things. Finn can
uh-huh,
laugh in the corner and stuff like that. But I think Liv, who has been She's someone who it looks like the WWE, by all intents and purposes, couldn't even like live without. Like she's everywhere. She's doing everything. She's in movies. She's at Fanatics Fest. She's women's champion. She's tag team she loses the women's championship in Netflix or Raw. A month later, she's tag team champion. So it's
Yeah.
like, she's included in WrestleMania. She's everything to me. Liv is fully realized, I think, in 2025. It's a shame of the shit that happened last night, but I think she is fully, completely realized. She is in her final form. Um, I say that with the utmost confidence because she has been working her ass off and she's kind of like doing everything. So I definitely give it a Liv. Liv has been incredible this year. Now, men wise, oof, men wise is
I
tough because
I think
everyone's a
men I don't
little
think it's
on
that
and
I don't think
off.
it's tough. I don't think it's tough. And we talking about all companies here?
Yeah, we could talk about all companies. Yeah.
I don't think it's tough. I think it's Seth Rollins.
Hmm.
I think nobody wants to say that. I think nobody wants to admit that. I think that, like, the unnecessary hate that he gets makes it very hard for people to actually admit that this guy is special and that he is kind of finally being given the push that a lot of people feel as though he deserves and I feel like he deserves as well. But it's Seth Rollins. He main evented WrestleMania and won. Big time matches and main events. He doesn't wrestle super often, but when he does, it's always impactful. There's always a reason. There's always something going on behind it.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that if I had to go the other way to maybe AEW, it's probably, oh my gosh, who could it be in AEW?
Who
You know
could
what's
it
the
be?
problem with AEW men's matches? They all feel the same.
Yeah. Who's the champ? I guess it's Moxley. I guess it would have to be Moxley.
It's not
Um,
Moxley though. Best wrestler, like,
I
you
mean,
know what?
Moxley's not a great wrestler, but he is.
I don't even feel like the overall their men is like their men's division is like elite, like crazy like that anyway. If I had to say, like, if they were like, oh, it's not Seth Rollins, who would it be? I mean, I guess you could say Osprey, I guess, because he
I
works
don't.
all the time.
Yeah, but the I guess is really I guessing right now. It would have to be. I think it's either unfortunately Moxley or Osprey. I think the only reason I say Moxley is because he's been the most consistent in all storylines moving forward. Hasn't taken a month off. Hasn't really taken a show off. Hasn't really done anything. Will Osprey knowingly shoots himself in the fucking foot um, to save whatever weird looking shaped foot that is AEW, shape or leg rather. Um, it is. Oh shit, Mercedes had a good year too, but I still think Liv is more important. I think Liv
Liv and Stephanie Verkara to me are way more important.
and Mercedes. Mercedes is,
She barely
uh,
wrestles.
but when she does, it's really she's got a good track record this year. But I also think that um, in
But I mean,
general,
but
the
to the argument, I think Becky is the only one of all the women we've mentioned that has like a match of the year contender.
this is true.
So to like,
Um,
yeah,
I don't know. I can say for the men there, but I think in so for it's weird. Mine for the men in WWE would probably be it's a current tie between Punk and Jey Uso. Um, and I say Punk just because he's been really, really consistent this year in the ring. He's wrestled matches that I didn't think he would wrestle, but everything that he does is really, really good. The only thing I would like to see is with Punk, at least moving forward, at least moving into the second half of this year.
wrestle
I
more
think
often.
it's not even that. We gotta tell some new stories, and I'll say what I mean by that. Um, I think he's done a great job at revisiting a lot of things. I mean, the Drew thing is pretty new, but I'm talking about kind of like new stories with new people and kind of new rivalries kind of being established. Like, let's put someone new in a position against Punk so he isn't just facing like veterans and the matches are kind of like, they are what they are, like Roman or Seth or something along those lines. Like, let's see him
Roman,
really.
I would want to call Roman out because like I feel like that was one that we all wanted to see.
I agree.
It's technically kind of new.
Yeah, well, it's based off old shit.
Yeah, but it's technically still kinda new.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like like Roman was there when Punk was there. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. Seth was there when Punk was there back in the day. They feuded before. So the stories kind of like intertwined. And I think that was a large basis of what their rivalry was,
But I think when
especially
you
back in the day. Even when he stole Paul Heyman, he was just
what
like, I want to go
what you
back
run
to
into with Punk is that he was gone so long that, like, you have to he has to there's a lot to catch up on. There's a lot that, like, has to happen before I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I think it will, but there's a lot to catch up on with him, whereas, like, it's very tough to be like, "Oh, well," you know, maybe he just face new guys all the time. I don't think necessarily there's a lot of new guys that would gain a lot from actually, like, facing him right now until they're established themselves. Like, I would love to see Punk and Carmelo Hayes go at it. I just don't think it's time for that to happen right now because it wouldn't really be advantageous to either of them.
right. I think um I mean, Raw doesn't have a ton of new. I mean, Sami Zayn is there. I think Sami Zayn and
That
Punk could
was
have.
new.
It just, yeah, it just depends on like who would turn heel or something along those lines. Punk versus Cody is something we still haven't seen, and they've made it known that we haven't seen it yet.
It's coming. Like, that
Yeah,
to me, more than anything, that's coming.
but I feel like with Punk, I'm not saying the time is ticking, but at some point he's getting older and older, and these storylines get very, very long in the tooth. So at some point, you got to really start pulling the trigger on a lot of these things. Like he's been feuding with Seth for pretty much since he returned.
Here's
They
the
haven't
thing,
had the
man.
definitive match yet. Yeah, go ahead.
If his contract runs out, people can just complain and he'll get another one at 53. So I don't think time is of the essence. I think he has a lot of time. He's got plenty of time, you know?
Okay, okay, I believe it.
Just
Um,
saying. Hey, I mean, it's okay to sign niggas at 53, but be mad at people who are only gonna have one match. You know what I'm saying? So
I would love Punk versus Damian Priest. I would love Punk versus Aleister Black. I would love Punk versus a couple of Kevin Owens is the one that we haven't seen, which there's a lot of meat on the bone, but Kevin's probably gonna be out till next year, to be honest with you.
if ever. He said he don't even know if he'll ever come back.
Mm, that's a tough beat.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, it's between him and Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso has also done a stellar job this year. It's just I think that Punk's biggest moments, his his peaks, I think, in terms of like delivery and matches and everything, are just higher than Jay's. Um, but it is what it is. How about this? Let's ask this.
Yeah.
Um, Who do you think has been the most who's impressed you thus far? Who's improved the most this year that you're like, "Oh, okay, 2025, we doing this."
Impressed me. In what way? Like the most improved thus far?
Yeah, I say most improved thus far.
Who's impressed me? I'm never impressed.
I mean,
Who's impressed me
let's
thus
see.
far?
Can I throw some names at you and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see?
yeah.
How about Chelsea Green?
No.
No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um
I think I was initially excited about the run, and then we got the run, and that's all I'll
yeah.
say about that.
How about Motor City Machine Guns?
Very impressed. Very impressed. What the thing is that I'm not impressed. I'm not shocked at what they've
Yeah.
been able to add to that division. I think they've been a great addition to the tag division, and I think that it's one of those things where it's like they have, they have just kind of fit into the mold, fit into the mold. You know.
How about this? Has Jacob Fatu impressed you this year? Last
Yes,
year, yeah,
yes.
last year we were skeptical. It was like this nigga ain't even wrestle yet.
We were hard on him. We were hard on him. We were
But that's
very
because
very hard on him.
everyone was glazing crazy because he hadn't even
Yes,
really wrestled like in a major way yet.
he hadn't
He
had a
hadn't,
storyline,
yeah,
and
he
I
hadn't
think
done anything.
And I think I'm very excited for this storyline. I think I'm very excited for what he's gonna bring to the table here. I think that it's very cool how they have him set up, and I think that when he eventually does take his first loss, it'll be shocking, one, and I think
Mhm.
people will find it will be able to talk about his run in a realistic light, if that makes sense.
I agree. What about Jade Cargill?
No,
No, not impressed
Man,
this year.
Mania match
Okay.
was yeah,
Uh,
man.
all right.
Yeah, man.
Um, LA Knight.
Yes. You know what? That's my vote. Most improved this year.
He has been. Is it the mid card thing? Like, is it somewhere where he's like playing ball
He got
in
a
a
chip on his
realm?
shoulder. He got a chip on his shoulder. Why is he doing backflips?
Because he's been.
What why
He
why is he
hasn't
doing
really.
backflips?
He hasn't really been in the mix like that. And really, but he's because he's constantly getting beat up by Soul Sikoa or Fatu or something along those lines. But he's there. You can tell that he's like his presence is still there. So
I mean, he ain't botching that much. I think that he provides like again, like a lot of people say, well, what when is he getting a world title look? I'm like, some people just meant to be intercontinental champion. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, some
right,
niggas are just meant to be intercontinental champion, Meals.
and he's one of them. To be honest with you, I think potentially. I mean, I wouldn't be upset at a world thing, but I don't think people would take him as seriously as a world champion. Because when you look at really the scope around it, he's one of those people's. He's like what we call Leroy, right?
Mhm.
Like Leroy's never the best on the show that he's on. We talking about the challenge, by the way. Leroy's never the best that he shows on. He may be the most entertaining, maybe the most well liked. He may even do well in a couple challenges. But when it comes down to the final, and if there's another person better than him, he's going to lose. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying LA Knight's going to lose, but I'm just saying he's never been the guy on the roster.
Mhm.
He's always been like the fifth or the sixth one. Um, so it's tough for people to really kind of take that stuff kind of seriously. Naomi, I think Naomi has improved tenfold this year.
I think she's another one whereas it was expected, but we just had to wait for her to reach that next level. This heel turn is next level.
She's always had it, is
Yeah.
essentially what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's see. Let me move over to. I'm not even gonna ask you about Zelina Vega. Um, let's see. Raw. I mean, Raw has a lot of. I think it still has a lot of potential, but it also has still like a lot of use. Braun Breaker. I can't really judge this based on his current role. Bronson and Braun. I think they're good. I think they're better than the roles that they're in, but they're in their roles that they're in for a reason. Um, so that 2 years from now, they could be in the role that they're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Um, so I can't really say that. They still got Carlito on the on the roster page. Shout out
Oh,
to Carlito.
I think it should just end it yesterday, so that probably change it today.
Okay, if someone was just like, yeah, no, never mind. Chad Gable. I mean, he's
I mean, it's expected. He's been
yeah,
great.
it's for like the past 3 years. What about Dominic Mysterio?
I think he's regressed a little. I think that they need to start giving him more matches. I think he has he as a character he's still good. But I think in terms of matches, I think one of the things that excited us about him, Mills, was the fact that he was getting more burn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now he's like kind of just chilling, and it's like people are like, oh, he's a forgettable intercontinental champion. I'm like, I wouldn't like go that far, but I think that like it definitely was defended a lot more when he wasn't champion. But we should have known it wasn't going to be defended a lot when he was champion because he's a heel. But
Yeah, but also age booking is like also when you're a heel and you're a champion, you don't even work that much. Or if you're just a champion, rather. I mean, face champions work a little bit more than the heel champions under H regime, but really, realistically, champions hardly ever work. Like when he was running NXT, how many times we had a new champion crowned at Takeover and we wouldn't even see the nigga for the first 3 weeks?
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But that was because I mean NXT that was taped, so like they probably just gave them niggas a rest. But I don't know. Like I can't say he's not better. I think he's just the same. I'll just say he's stayed the same since last year.
Okay. Lyra Valkyria.
Expect it because she's great. But now they're giving her wrinkles to her character. I think Becky coming back was the biggest boon on her career that you
Yeah,
could have
yeah.
ever had. I think Becky coming back really fucking helped her. And I think that it's gonna continue to be an advantage for one Lyra Valkyria.
I agree. Um, I'm not gonna ask these niggas. You're not even gonna say nothing good about Rusev. Um,
What is there to say? We can really have a conversation about that, Meals, because like, what is there to say?
there isn't. There isn't. He's
When he
just
gets there and he has matches, they're boring. They're the same boring matches he's always had. Um, he gets literally no reaction. I don't know what how his contract is structured. Maybe it is by date. It was a short term contract. Maybe he only has a couple of dates on there, but he's just
nah.
not
He
doing.
got the Carlito. He got the Carlito one. He got the one. It's 2 years. They'll see in 2 years, and probably in 2 years they'll probably say like, never mind. Like,
Yeah, he needs to. I think you know what it is. He needs to be in a faction. I think that's the long and short of it. He needs to be in a faction.
or maybe he needs his wife. Maybe people don't take him seriously because his wife's not there.
Yeah,
Because that was a large part. I think even in AEW, to be honest with you, when Lana showed up, I thought business was a little bit better for him. I mean, it turns out it wasn't because Lana was like, "These niggas can't even talk over here." But it was. I think it would be a bit better for him in terms of the presentation because I don't think people in the WWE television are really used to him being alone like this. Like Rusev comes out and it's just like, all right, there's Rusev. But then Rusev with Lana is a different story. Now it's like Miz with Maurice. It's a little bit, it's a premium version of that. You know what I'm saying? Um,
he should be able to survive on his own. And you
I
know that
agree.
if this was anybody else, if this was carrying across, we wouldn't be given uh we wouldn't be giving him no type of rope for Charlotte Scarlett not being there. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree. I don't
he
know.
should be able to survive on his own.
I agree. I agree. Um, what do you think have been the best, if you can, and maybe I'll try to pull up some stuff. Best signings of the year.
Best signing, best
So
signing
we've
of the year.
let's see. I mean, there's Penta.
Oh yeah, Penta. Yeah, that's it. Penta.
There's Penta.
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Triple A in its entirety.
Yeah, the entire Mr. Iguana. Ricky Saints. Uh, I mean, we've had this year WWE signings. We've had thus far Penta, Ricky Saints, Jordan Grace, Ray Phoenix, Rusev, Aleister Black, Jeff Cobb. Who else do we have?
I can tell you who's worse.
Yo, was that nigga a corpse or what?
Funniest picture I've ever seen, bro. I saw the picture before I saw the segment.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What happened on SmackDown?"
Oh my god. So we have that. I'm looking at AEW signings as well. Who did AEW sign this year? They signed Kevin Knight. They signed the karate nigga, Mike Bailey. They signed I'm gonna put sign in quotation mark. They signed Megan Baines this year. And signed her last year and had her. Um, Josh Alexander. I mean, none of these niggas really done shit. Mina
they
Shirakawa.
they have debuted directly into the mid card on that in that company.
They don't do. I mean, Tekla got ass. Let's talk about that for a quick second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Tekla got her ass whooped. On this is something that I've only seen or that's been accused of like William Regal. Who else was someone who kicked someone's ass when they weren't supposed to? I think Hardcore Holly probably did it. There are very few instances in wrestling history where you're supposed to put someone over and then you just end up beating their ass for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know what Queen Aminata did or who pissed her off or something of the rather. If I had to guess from her tweets, she could really care less about her job currently. She is what the Gen Zs call soft quitting. That's what it seems like to me. I could be wrong. Queen Aminata could cuss me out. I don't know. Beat my ass. I don't know. Um, but she doesn't look necessarily happy in the role that she's in. So when she will eventually, this all stemmed from like someone asked her a couple of weeks ago, "Do you still wrestle?" And she's like, "I don't know." Like and then suddenly she was booked on the card versus Tekla the following week. Now, if I had to guess, she probably felt like that was retaliation for saying what she did on Twitter. And someone up above said, "I know how we going you talking about it, you don't know, huh? You gonna know when we job you out to Tekla."
Yeah.
So then she pulled up and said, "Job who? Job me?" And
I got a
proceeded,
job.
yeah, proceeded. My man got a job. Proceeded to stiff the shit out of her for pretty much 5 minutes and then lose the match. Um, I thought it was hilarious, but I know it's incredibly unprofessional.
It's extremely unprofessional. I need people to not cheer this because had it been anyone else,
Everyone's saying the match was awesome. I was like, you guys are such y'all
munches.
brain is on one speed.
Yeah, you guys are munches. This is not Beast, all right? Like this is actually the opposite of Beast. Here's the thing, and it's not Beast because of this. Tekla didn't deserve that because it is not her fault how she's being pushed. All right? Like she did not deserve that because how she's being pushed is not in direct relation of how or what she
I'm
deserves
not
in
a
terms of the
standing.
character.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm an understanding is completely different from however Tekla's being pushed. You know what I mean? Like she's an innocent bystander in all of this. And we should treat it as such because there's no reason why the girl had to do that. And also as far as Tekla, uh you need to protect yourself, defend yourself a
I
little bit
agree.
because how did you let that happen? Who was calling that match? Who was producing it? From what I saw, she got no offense to the end.
Shouldn't get any notable offense to the end. Listen,
Yeah,
the
other
clips
than the
don't the
finish.
clips don't show her with the shit that she did. You know what I'm
But
saying?
also but also saying this shit's beast when like the most unprofessional part isn't even just the stiffing. You know what I'm saying? It's like her no selling her submission. It's her walking out the ring, not selling anything. You can see her in camera. Like as a wrestler, you're not supposed to be within camera shot of you rolling out the ring. It's why people in WWE they lay on the ground like last night. Perfect example. After Oscar won, Stephanie Vicaire was off to the side, not in
Hmm.
camera view. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to give them the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. But again, the inmates run the asylum there, and we could talk about it as well with the other lawsuit that's coming out against AEW right now, where Mox pushed a cameraman who was allegedly like a freelancer that was working with them, and he's calling suit against them. They run the inmates run the asylum in that company, bro. You know what I
Let's talk
mean?
about
Like
it.
it's insane that you could see that, and then the guy be like, people be like, oh, why is he waiting until now? Or all of this. I'm like, bro, if it was y'all asses that got pushed, would y'all be saying that was Beast? They probably would. Like, never mind. There's not
They
even a
probably
conversation.
would, to be honest with you. It's
It's not
not a
even a
good
conversation.
conversation. It's not a
Yeah,
good. They don't care about themselves. Um, let's spin off into that. AEW and John Moxley, according to Sports Illustrated, AEW and John Moxley sued for negligence, civil assault, and battery by production crew member Christopher Dispenza is seeking compensation following an incident on the AEW Dynamite in 2023. I wonder if they still have the video up because one would say, "Hey, take the video down," or at
no,
least edit the video or
it's
anything.
still up. They're so dumb that they're still up, and they let some of their employees call the guy a pussy. So just
That's not
saying.
going to age well. According to on the May 10th edition of AEW Dynamite, Moxley faced Omega in a cage match, which ended up spilling to the outside. Moxley went to grab a screwdriver to use on Kenny Omega, and in doing so, shoved Dispenza to the ground. The lawsuit claims that Moxley was only supposed to grab the screwdriver, and Dispenza took an unplanned fall as a result of being shoved. His legal team alleges this is an example of civil assault battery, claiming that in allegedly deviating from the script, Moxley either showed intent to harm Dispenser or at minimum a complete disregard for whether harm was a result. I believe the second one. I believe
Yeah,
he
the
would have
second one
cared.
for sure. The second one for sure. Like it's you shouldn't. The wrestler shouldn't be touching people that's part of production if it's not planned.
I agree.
That's just the long and short of it. You push me on the fucking ground, any fucking thing can happen.
Whether you fake badass or not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Like I don't care how many fucking niggas who work at Home Depot done choked your ass out. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like it is crazy. that video can easily be found, number 1.
Mhm.
It is crazy that this even happens, but again, we have an example, along with the Amanada example, of people going into business for themselves in this company, bro. Like, it's not cool. It's not okay. Like, but a lot of people saying, and again, we laughing at it. We laughing because ultimately, we think anything that has to do with that type of shit in AEW is pretty funny, and it is funny.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
To a
yeah.
point. It gets to a point though where you can't really call that type of shit funny anymore because it is actively damaging to the talent and the people that are trying to do well. You know what I mean? And I get Amanada's frustrations. However, doing that is kind of crazy. And then the Twitter shit afterwards actually makes it look worse.
Yeah, yeah. And
You're
then
going in. You're not gonna have a program with Tekla, are you? Unless you are because Jamie Hayter's injured, which I could realistically see that happening now because Jamie's injured.
I don't know, the way she whooped her ass, I couldn't see a program happening after that. I would
Yeah,
be like, "Hell nah." You know, remember a couple weeks ago with the chair and Thunder Rosa and Megan Bayne? The bitch wouldn't get out the ring. She was like, "Get out the ring."
yeah, yeah,
Megan
pretty
Bayne
much.
was like, "Fuck out of here, nigga."
This is 2 women this year that have done that, like, it's kinda crazy.
It
It's
is
kinda crazy.
the Moxley suit to me, um, and again, like it's a I always implore how the journalists online, we talk about it in the Discord, and one of the great points that was made was like, I'm surprised more journalists online aren't going for legal opinions on this instead of like forming opinions of their own and saying like this is bullshit. He pushed him, but he didn't push him that hard or something along those lines, and aren't just
Yeah.
going to getting some sort of legal advice for how they should or quotes from anyone in legal in terms of just like what would be the best way, like do they legitimately have a case. um
Well, they're shameless anyway, so,
yeah, it is what it is,
like,
but
it's they should be seeing if he has a case. And again, not everything he says in that complaint is like, okay, some of it is, like, eye rolling, but, like, ultimately, the grounds of what he's
this
saying.
is what you do when you sue, nigga. You don't
Yeah,
just
you
sue and be like, "Nigga, push me, I want money." You're like,
yeah,
"No."
it has to be salacious, you know what I'm saying? It has to be salacious, but at the crux of it, at the core of what he's saying, he has a case, and people are so sensitive and defensive of it that it's like they see nothing else past they're doing this to AEW. This is a false flag, and they're trying to destroy AEW from the inside. It's like that's not it. It's not it, bro.
If they had a production meeting or something of the rather, or if they just let I mean, I'm assuming they let talent. Most talent don't do this. So to me, it really kind of falls on Moxley kind of being stupid.
You said
Um,
most talent, right? But like again, as we said with the Amanada example, too many of their talent does things like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of their talent do unprofessional things. MJF slapped a fan. He poured beer on a kid.
yeah,
You
like
know?
I think but I still think like the majority when you look at those are people who feel like they have the creative agency to be able to pull off stuff like that. Most of the roster doesn't because
Mhm.
unless it's like Allen falls off something into a shard of which again was also dangerous. Shards of glass could people
Yeah,
in the front row
yeah.
right in niggas' eyes. Um, but they should definitely have a lot more concern about things that they do and as a wrestler, I mean, he talks about the he was improperly trained. They talk about Moxley's improperly trained, and everyone's just like, I haven't heard anything about that. But it was just like, I've seen Moxley wrestle over the last number of years. Like, he might not be trained well. I don't know. Like, who does this? You know what I'm saying? Like just just chill. Um, let's see. Let's get into the another big thing that happened this week
Uh-huh.
on Raw. I mean, I guess we could talk about it now, so we don't have to talk about it on
Yeah,
Patreon.
yeah.
Um, Goldberg,
Mhm,
as predicted, as rumored, as everything, returned last night on Monday Night Raw.
mhm.
I, first of all, how do you feel about the return? Because I was kind of like low key. I mean, I get it, but I was also kind of like underwhelmed. Nigga just walked out. It was
Yeah,
just like
I
at the
think
middle of the second hour, he just
but
walks out and he's like,
I think that again they manufactured this response.
"Uh,
They knew they have already been. Already seemed like they were planning the Goldberg story everywhere. Anyway, they knew it's one of those things. There was like it's like a worst kept secret. They like when Roman came back at SummerSlam. You know what I
like
mean?
Punk
Like
not wanting to go to Saudi."
yeah, like they knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. So why belabor it? It would have been cool like if they had like him walking out with security. Like just like driving up and then walking in with security, like that would have been hard. But like ultimately, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a one off. It's reportedly going to be his last match. Um,
Niggas are mad.
like unbelievably mad to a point where I'm like, did he have like this is my thing, Mills. Does he have any tweets that are like problematic? Did he say something? Was he racist that one time? Like what was the you know what I'm saying? What was the catalyst to have people so this goddamn mad over Goldberg coming back? You're
I
not
think
that
it's just
mad about the crown jewel match. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe you're that mad about the crown jewel match.
no, 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 no. I think it's more so they're mad about the Jey Uso of it all.
They didn't even want him to be champion.
I agree. I mean, so to me, this is harmless, right? This is a one-off match. Even if Goldberg does win, he's not retaining the world championship. Like even if we get to this point, um, but the question is, I was actually asked by my friend, and maybe I'll ask you this as well. He asked me this morning. He says, "Once you're, because he's getting back into it. He says, once you're a wrestler, do you think you're entitled to a final match at whatever old ass age you are?" And I'm like, I
Oh,
mean, no one is really, but I feel like Goldberg, if there's anyone who, if Goldberg wants to have a final match, I feel like Goldberg should have a final match.
that's
Goldberg was,
disrespectful. That's almost and the thing is, the same people who said it's disrespectful for our literally 2 weeks ago we talked about this. Same people who said it was disrespectful that our truth didn't get to go out on his own terms are turning around and saying this too. In my opinion, regardless of what you think about truth, an actual star who brought in box office in the
yeah,
'90s, in the
yeah,
2000s.
yeah.
Are you serious? That's disrespectful.
Goldberg, I think he came back. He did a lot of good business for WWE, which is another reason why I think they're holding it. He lost to everybody. He lost
Mhm,
to Drew. He lost to Roman. He lost to Braun. He lost to Brock. He lost to everybody. He practically lost to Undertaker.
mhm.
Even though I don't even know if he know where he was at when that happened.
I think, but
But
I just don't. You know what it is, and it kind of falls under the cult of personality that surrounds uh just generally and we kind of started to see this happen in 2014, 2013 with Roman and CM Punk, right? There was a
mhm,
cult of personality around one popular thing or person that created a hate campaign for something else that might actually be awesome or
yeah, yeah,
that might actually be great. We see it happen today with you know who. You know what I'm saying? Like we see it happen a lot in this time where one brilliantly planned hate campaign can change your whole narrative. Bret Hart's been shitting on Goldberg for years. There's kids who like probably never even seen a Bret Hart match in their life that siding with Bret Hart on a Goldberg issue. You know what I'm
right,
saying? That they don't even know what the fuck going on. But ultimately, it's that cult of personality that is causing a lot of people to be like, "Oh, well, fuck Goldberg because he don't deserve a final match because he old." I'm like, bro, y'all was just asking for homie to get re-signed, begging we want truth, and y'all got him back and y'all happy. Why can't Goldberg get away to get a chance to go out on his own? He's a guy who actually made a difference in the fucking company at one point. I don't understand the anger. I don't know where it changed from. There's no way Meals.
especially if this is the last, like the last of the last, right? And it's not
Yeah.
even happening on a pay-per-view, which I would also, if I were him, I would be like, I'd rather it happen on pay-per-view, but he wants it to happen in Atlanta. He wants to happen in front of his people. He wants all
And
types
that's
of,
cool. And to me, that's
yeah.
cool. That's cool as shit. Because he gets to go out in front of his family and he gets to have a match with a fucking beater. Like Gunther. Y'all want to see him get his ass beat? He gonna get his ass beat, but he gonna try. I don't
I
know if he
think,
getting Gunther for a damn jackhammer, but he gonna try.
I mean, Gunther looks much larger than he did. It was straight, but I'm not with the outrage for this. To me, it, you heard the reports, you saw it coming. you knew this was coming eventually. You knew they told you about Gunther and Goldberg last year in Atlanta.
Yeah,
So
October.
yeah, so you knew this was coming. Jay Uso, who is more than fine, since the nigga legitimately they re-rocking Jay Uso once again anyway. He lost the world championship match, and in half of a week, in 1 week, is back in the title picture essentially. He's got to
Yeah,
face Cody next week.
but keep in mind, y'all never wanted him there to begin with. So I don't understand it, Meals. Am I missing
Rikishi's
something?
Rikishi big ass, you know,
You need to shut the fuck up too.
he does. He really does. It's like I don't know who writing this program. You can't. I'm just like, bro, we get it.
Fuck, fuck up a bag records is this nigga's name, bruh. Like he'll fuck up a bag, boy. I tell you.
That nigga never gonna be on TV. With his sons. Um, Either way,
But
I'm not upset with Goldberg versus Gunther. Like it's happening. Watch it or don't. I'm watching it. Um, happening.
nobody, nobody is going to fault you or be mad if you don't watch this match. It is completely
Yeah.
fine if you do not want to watch. If it is hurting your
W-
chakra
Watch all
that
in,
bad,
nigga. Yeah, watch
yeah,
all in.
like if it is hurting your chakra that bad to fucking watch Goldberg versus Gunther, then by all means, brother. But at the end of the day, he gonna get his sign off. He gonna get a sign off. They've already made the merch.
And
They
he
know it's gonna
should.
make money.
He
Like
should. He should. To be honest with you, I legitimately think that he is someone who deserves it.
the
Like I get
fans
he's. Go
love
ahead.
him. The fans love him. He is the closest thing that we ever had. I think someone said it perfectly. He's the closest thing that we ever had to a wrestling superhero. Like legit. He is a fucking superhero. Like he
Mm.
is what they say he is. And I mean, you can't go better than that. You can't go bigger than that.
So Goldberg Gunther World Heavyweight Championship Saturday night's main event.
Mhm.
Um, he hasn't announced it'll be his last match, but he's supposed to be continuing to flying. Don't get me wrong. I'm worried about the health of this nigga because it looks all bad. But if he can make it through this match, this one final match, I'm sure you will never see Goldberg again.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure. Um,
Like where did he where I just want to know where he was like because even if regardless of what I don't even want to bring up Ultimate Warrior in this sense. Who was somebody else that's similar? Like I can't even bring up Hulk Hogan. Again, I don't think he's done anything particularly fucking problematic to a point where like y'all are this mad about him. Unless I missed something, and I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna. Well, there was that one time, and I'm just like, all right, well, what do you want me to do?
yeah,
What do
yeah.
you want me to say, bro? Like he hasn't done anything that could have drawn the ire of y'all niggas this bad. Like what did he do to y'all that have made you hate him this bad? It makes no
I mean,
sense.
the Instagram comments are pretty. Everyone's shitting on this shit, which is
Oh well.
crazy. Yeah, because all the Cena matches have sucked. But
Literally all of the Cena matches are fucking terrible, and y'all are letting him have country and letting him have a whole year long tour where he takes up my fucking TV time with his fucking promos. I can't believe this
whatever.
shit. Like again, I am ultimately certain that people don't actually like wrestling. They just like to see their faves do things. People don't actually like wrestling meals. They just like
I
to see
agree.
their faves do things. And that's
I,
completely fine if that's what you're into. I am not.
yeah, leave us out of it. You know.
I
Um,
that's not what I want to see.
Nonetheless, we will see Goldberg doing Goldberg things.
And
So
also to the Gunther point, this is a good match for him. If he beats Goldberg, that's a legend. When you think about the people that Gunther has beaten in his run thus far, Meals, he actually kind of hasn't beaten any legends for real.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you think about it, he hasn't beaten any legends whatsoever yet.
I mean, aren't Randy, but
Eh, eh.
Randy, he
One
beat
was a
the
fluke. One was off a botch.
well, the Randy, the Bash in Berlin shit. I can't.
Yeah.
Niggas went to war, so
They did, but it's like he ain't beat like a Goldberg. He hasn't beaten like a Seth. He hasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like Roman. He hasn't beaten nobody. Like I'm not saying he fighting plumbers, but like nigga, you beat Jey Uso 18 times, nigga. Like all right,
yeah. He ain't beat Roman. He ain't beat Punk,
this
yeah.
is a big this is a huge feather in his cap. You know, should the match be good? I'm not saying it will be. Should the match be good, and should it go off the way that you know, it really should go off? I think that this could be a really big feather in his cap if he lets if that's what goes down.
I agree. Quick thoughts. Blake Monroe. Like the name? Like the you don't care?
Like, this is another one where I'm like, I don't see the anger, and I don't give a shit about what her name is.
I agree.
Like, her name is her name, and you know it is what it is, and y'all are gonna get over it, or forget about it in a week. So, what do you want me to say?
There we go. Um, let's see if there's
I
any
think her
big one.
presentation, just being her AEW presentation, is quite interesting and funny though.
It is it is definitely something. Let me see if there's any more notes. Are you interested in G1 or no?
No, I haven't been
Oh,
interested in like 5 years, so I won't be watching that either.
they need a you know who they need to call?
It's
WWE.
like it's like a bunch of. You said what?
WWE.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because the thing is like WWE finding things for people to do if they can't be on TV, like Los Garzas and LDF, like that's actually a good idea. Because when they come back to SmackDown or whatever, they have clout. They're the biggest stars in Mexico, but they're still under our payroll. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the fucking the mega champions in AAA, but they're still
Mhm.
on our payroll. You know what I mean? Like that they have that cachet that they it's kind of a little bit stronger than coming in as an NXT champion. I feel like that don't matter as much as it used to.
If you could send a WWE guy to the G1, who would you send?
Gable.
Oh, well, all right, another one. That was too easy.
Gable, Creeds, um, Bronson Reed.
Bronson
Uh,
Reed.
Bronson Reed would be great at the
He beat
G1. Ethan
Okada
Pa
once. I don't know if you
E
know this.
yeah, he did. Ethan Page would be a great addition there. Penta Penta would sell out those little gyms they be in every night.
Would you send let's
Shinsuke
see.
could go back.
Shinsuke could go. Shinsuke would be tough to go. I would like that.
Yeah,
One last G1 run.
yeah.
Let him make it to the finals and then lose. How
But
about JC
like
Mateo?
he always did?
Yeah.
Jay,
JC
you just
Mateo.
trying to get JC Mateo to go somewhere.
We wouldn't even notice he's gone. Um
I don't even notice he's here.
let's see. Shit. Do some of those. They've been teasing the Austin Theory breakup. Send that nigga to G1. You know what I'm saying?
I think he would be one of the biggest Gaijin stars. I think the Japanese women there would fucking love him.
You'd be great. They've been teasing this breakup and not even like teasing it on camera. They've been teasing it in the backgrounds of niggas walking through other segments.
And they like, whoa, look at the girls. So they fighting y'all. The girls is fighting y'all.
All right,
Literally every night.
let's do the weekly shows. Oh, I want to give a special shout out. Shout out to Black Wrestling. Um, I wrote a great long form piece on R Truth because he is number 50 on the BRP 50. So the BRP 50 season is officially here. So make sure you guys stay tuned. It is the greatest list of black wrestlers that you'll find over the last year. Definitely, you'll discover new people. You'll see where people landed, and you'll be interested in who is number one. If I had a guess, I'm assuming it's Obafemi, but I actually don't know who number one is. Um, but the BRP 50, shout out to Black Wrestling, shout out to Cal, shout out to every, Math and Fam and Mimi and DDM and everybody else over there who's making great stuff happen. We gotta get Cal back on the show. I miss talking to Cal.
I miss
Um,
Cal too. Shout out to Cal.
shout out to Cal. So let's definitely support BRP 50 and yeah, and that's all I got.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to the A Show. Next week, predictions again. So we're gonna be predicting Clash of Champ or
N-
Night of
n-
Champions,
Night of Clash of the Night, Night of the
Clash of the
Clash.
Night at a Clash of the Champs. And actually, I mean, to be fair, Mills, a card that's actually kind of filling out over the past couple of days, and we're gonna get all to that on the weekly show reviews on Patreon. So we'll be right back for Patreon, but as for everyone else, just pay the $5, man. You'll get the real show. Thank you guys for listening though. We'll see you guys next week on the A Show. Peace.